Okay, let's start our session. Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our sorry. Welcome to our breakout section as part of today's information section. Our theme is the backbone of business. In this section, where you have the opportunity to have taste of lectures from our TPG programs and know more about what we have to offer. And I'm delighted to introduce our distinguished lecturers, Professor Lucia Fong and Professor Anna Chan from the Department of Management, Marketing and Information Systems. And today they will be sharing their valuable insights into current trends and innovative strategies in the fields of HR and marketing. Let's begin with Professor Fong. Professor Fong, the floor is yours.
Okay, hello. Is my voice getting through all right? Okay,
Yeah.
so I'll share my screen first. Just give me one moment. Okay, is everything looking okay? Should be all right. Okay. All right. If everything is looking all right, then I will start with my presentation today. By the way, I'll introduce myself again. I am Lucia Fong, Dr. Lucia Fong. I am the teaching faculty member of the a Master of Human Resources Management program. Okay. And today's lecture title is called the New Play HR Playbook. Today I'm not going to talk about like program details, like which is going to happen later, but this is not my job today. But instead, I'm going to give you a taste of like what are the things that we are going to do in this program, what we're going to learn in this program. By I have developed some scenarios, okay, to share with you such that through the process you'll understand, oh yeah, so what our master of human resources management program is like, and like what is the teaching style and learning style is going to be like. And some of you might actually have an undergraduate degree and majoring in human resources management program, so how is it going to be different from your undergraduate program? Okay, all right, so let's get started. Okay, so first of all, the title is called the new HR playbook, right? Our world is moving so fast, okay? And also the job market, the trends, they are moving so fast these days, okay? So how are we going to adapt to it? What is the role of HR in adapting to these new changes? So I have developed two hypothetical scenarios, okay, that would be really relevant for the HR world today. So let's get started with the first scenario here. Okay, the first scenario, I got a name for it. It is called remote work out of sight, not just out of mind, but out of score. We are going to talk about like how the impact of remote work is going to affect a lot of things, right? Particularly so when it comes to performance evaluation of your employees in the workplace. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so in this story, imagine yourself, you are a HR manager and you notice that, oh, a lot of the Gen Z workers, like they like remote work, they like work-life balance, they like flexibility at work and so on and so forth. So in order to attract them and also to retain them, you decided to offer some flexibility for your employees to choose whether to work remotely or come to office. Okay, they at least have to come back to office for 1 day per week, but the remaining 4 days they can choose whether they come back for maybe 3 days, or all of the 4 days will be like working remotely. Or some of the employees might prefer to, come back for all 5 days because they want the regularity and so on and so forth. And some employees might choose to, really work remotely for the remaining 4 days. So as this policy rolled out, you also realize that as expected, most of the Gen Zs, all right, prefer to work more remotely. So many of them choose to work like 4 days a week at home or remotely in the cafe or at the beach or whatever. That's up to them. Okay, as long as they log in and get their work done. Okay, so after a year, you want to evaluate the impact of this policy on the employee's performance. But there are some concerning data. The ratings of performance of the employees by the direct report, their managers, shows that the mostly remote employees' performance ratings were 20% lower than the office first employees. Okay. And the second thing is that the Gen Z employees, and many of them are working mostly remotely, their turnover rate is much higher than other older age groups. So what's happening here, and what should we do, right? If you are the HR manager, you'll be thinking of, oh, I'm going to cancel the whole remote work thing because it's bad for performance, or maybe it's not really so much about remote work. Maybe it's actually about the Gen Z. They're lazy, they're not loyal. But what's happening here? So rather than just making a random guess, an HR professional need to use objective data to really analyze the situation. What exactly is happening here? Is it remote work, or is it the Gen Z, or is it about, both factors interacting with each other? What is it? But we need objective data to do that. So in our program, we will encourage you and teach you how to analyze data objectively for understanding the human resources situation. Okay, that is one thing. Then another thing is like, oh, okay, so yeah, the performance ratings of remote workers and Gen Z workers is lower, but we need to think about it more carefully. Okay, so how is performance is actually being measured in the first place? So right now, the performance was evaluated subjectively by the managers alone. Could they be biased? Can we trust the managers alone? Okay, so maybe we will use a 360 evaluation, or maybe we can ask other people to do the evaluation for everyone, such as like their coworkers. But these are still self-report evaluation. So could the other evaluators, like their coworkers, could also be biased? All right. Or maybe they don't know the person being evaluated that much. Then is there another way, a more objective way to evaluate performance? Could we use a range of objective data? Nowadays, we have AI, we have data analytics that we can chuck in a lot of data and generate an index that's supposed to be more objective. But then, would there be privacy problem? What kind of data should we collect? What kind of data we should not collect? What are the data that is relevant to the performance? What are some of the data that is irrelevant? So these are all the factors that we HR professionals have to think about as well, isn't it? Okay. Another issue. Just now we talked about evaluator bias. Okay. In the past, we would look at, oh, bias because of maybe gender bias, or like a bias because of your age or whatever factors that we talk about. Remote work has actually brought about a new type of bias. And this new type of bias actually comes from visibility or invisibility. Think about it. I mentioned about out of sight, out of score. If I'm the manager, I don't even see my employee, like remote workers, very often. I don't even know them personally. And I don't really see them working very often. So when I'm making evaluation of their performance, okay, I largely rely on my memory and I don't recall them at all. Then would I end up giving them lower performance evaluation just because I don't see them very often? Okay, so the problem is like what you think is their productivity levels or performance level doesn't always equal to what their actual performance is because you don't see them. So remote work also bring new challenges of fair evaluation, all right? Visibility bias. Okay, so that is another issue that HR need to deal with. Okay, by knowing that this new possibility that we need to pay attention to that rather than jumping to the conclusion that, oh, remote workers' productivity is very low, let's cancel it. One more thing, okay? Out of sight, out of score, out of sight, out of mind as well. For remote workers, they might be working very long hours because they lost that regularity of like office hours. So sometimes they might be working early in the morning. They might be working like on their bed till very late at night, pulling an all-nighter. They might be working very hard. They might be even totally overworked, but nobody sees them. They might be very stressed, but nobody is aware of them. Okay, so they're not visible. The hard work is not visible. So they might be totally overworked. And after pulling an all-nighter, working till 4 a.m. in the morning and email the, I don't know, proposal or report to the boss, and all they get is just a cold thank you very much in an email. And then another big project will be pushed to them immediately because the manager simply are not aware that they are really overworked and totally burned out. Nobody notices, nobody cares. One more thing. out of sight, out of mind again. If I were the manager, when there are new work opportunities that will be very valuable for our young workers, okay, or maybe even promotion opportunities, who would come to your mind first? Would usually be the one that you see every day, that you talk to at the pantry every day, someone that you're more familiar with rather than the invisible remote workers. So even if some of the remote workers, they work very hard, they really deserve those opportunities. But the thing is that the hard work is not being seen. They don't get remembered by the managers, so they lost that opportunities. All right. So the office actually give advantage of proximity bias, where the remote workers like often feel that they are being left behind. So just now, remember at the beginning, all right, the report shows that a lot of the Gen Z workers and the remote workers have much higher turnover rate. No wonder they are so stressed, they are burned out, but nobody cares, nobody notice, and nobody really give them the support, and nobody give them the opportunity. No wonder they're so frustrated, and no wonder many of them quit. And then we talk about, oh, Gen Z are so lazy, Gen Z are so disloyal. So this story, what I'm trying to illustrate is that you can see that from this story, we have a lot of traditional HR concept being put in there. Performance evaluation, all right, stress, employees' motivation, employees' wellness, or even privacy, collection of data privacy of employees. But the thing is, like with the recent trends in the job market, in HR, in the society, it brings new challenges, all right, in these different HR topics and areas, okay? And how we as HR professionals, okay, use our the theories, the concepts, the latest research, and make use of objective data analytics, robust recent research in HR to understand what is actually happening in these completely new scenarios in workplace, and how can we develop evidence-based, all right, solutions to these new emerging HR problems. Okay, so that is quite different from undergraduate studies, I would say. Okay, so this is the first scenario. Let's move on to the second scenario here. Okay, so what happened in the second scenario? Okay, I call it. You see that there are robots and AI, data and all those sort of things on the screen. I call it smart tools, real people when HR goes AI. All right. So this scenario here is quite different from the first scenario, right? In the first scenarios, we are talking about human biases, all right? Managers, okay, they jump into conclusion, all right, Gen Zs are lazy, remote work is bad, okay, without relying on objective data analysis and how we HR can use our knowledge, all right, to address that and find out the true issue, all right, underlying issue and develop effective solutions. This scenario is the opposite end of this. This one is about like, okay, nowadays we got AI in everywhere, every aspects, including HR, and it's very useful. It's very helpful. But could over reliance on HR lead to some other problems? So this time is over reliance on technology might make us forget and ignore about the human side, the softer side of the issues of HR, because after all, HR is human resources management. People is a very important thing here. Okay, so what is the scenario here? Okay, so once again, imagine yourself. Okay, you're an HR manager in a tech firm. Okay, you work in the tech firm. Okay, and recently your company has rolled out two new AI tools. Okay, one is called Hire HR, okay, which uses a data to generate job ads and also shortlist candidates. Okay, Rate AI, the other one, it actually is for evaluation, performance evaluation. All right, it will produce like productivity index of employees based on objective data. So you can see that there's like two major HR topic here: recruitment, performance evaluation, and AI's impact on that. Okay, so what happened? So let's talk about the Hire AI system, okay? It has been immensely useful. Think about that. Like if you have to process like hundreds and thousands of job application, with the use of higher AI, it reduces the screening time to 60%. Wow, the job becomes so much easier for HR managers. But then when you look at the pattern of the employee or job candidates that are being screened, you realize there are some patterns on the AI decisions. So first of all, there were much fewer non-degree holders being shortlisted. Okay, which is normal. Okay, I totally understand that. You work in a tech firm, a lot of them are engineers. Like, of course, most of them are degree holders. But before we use the higher AI system, occasionally we will still hire non-degree holders, but very, very talented programmers. Okay, very talented programmers, and the performance is superb, sometimes even better than the degree holders. But now they totally disappear. Okay. And the second thing is that, well, once again, it is true that in tech firms, females are tends to be underrepresented. But after the use of higher HR, there were even fewer females like getting shortlisted. So it could get your company into trouble because like you might be accused of like discriminating against female. And then one more thing. You went to some online platform, for example, Glassdoor, whatever, and check people's comments on your company. All right. The job candidates give comments and ratings for all the companies that they have like applied for a job for. And then you realize that the ratings of your company has dropped a lot after the use of this AI system. So you're very, very curious about the situation. So you kind of like went to the platform and checked the job candidates' responses and comments. And there was this candidate that caught your attention. So she is a female programmer. She didn't get a university degree, but she is very experienced and very skilled in programming. So, but this is exactly the type of job candidate that will get screened out, right? So so therefore you read her comments and she said something that goes like this. She said, okay, I apply a programmer job in this company, but I got an immediate rejection within 2 minutes after after I have sent in my job application. And I was like so shocked. So 2 minutes, probably I got screened out by an AI, not a human being. Otherwise, it won't be so quick. So there's no human contact. So of course I got really frustrated, okay? And at the same time, I also applied for a job with another company for a similar position. And the experience was so different. What happened was that, oh yeah, I got like after a week or so, I got a phone call from the HR, all right, inviting me to come to the office for an interview. Uh, First, they give me a programming test to do, and I scored top score on it. Okay. And then the manager was so impressed. And then he invited me for a face-to-face interview for half an hour. And he was so patient listening to me explaining my experience, and he was very impressed. And then I got the job immediately. This experience, I felt so much more respected. And I definitely recommend people not to apply a job in the other company. All right, so that is the impression. And then the other one, Rate AI. Okay, this is the one for performance evaluation of the employees of the company. Okay, so yeah, what Rate AI will do is that it will collect a whole range of data of each employee and then chunk it to the system and then will generate a performance index or something like that to each employee, okay, about their performance and productivity. But it turns out that there are some patterns again. So first of all, the index seems to be correlating very strongly with the number of hours the employees log into the company's internal online system during regular office hours. And then the second thing is that it also correlates very strongly with how many meetings the employees have participated in. And as a result, it put remote workers in the disadvantage. Because once again, I've mentioned just now, the remote workers, they don't you often like work in regular hours. All right. They work at home, all right, sometimes in the morning, sometimes in the afternoon, sometimes like very late at night. okay, and they do not always log into the company's like online system like they are in office physically. So their login time very often wasn't count, all right, in the performance index. Okay. And the second thing, because they don't attend a lot of like face-to-face meetings with the team, so their score was also negatively affected. And then another thing was that there were employees, they might not seem very productive in numbers, all right, in the sense that they do not churn out like many projects in terms of frequency, but they are well known for doing very focused deep work. They prioritize quality over quantity. And this type of focused workers also, all right, got rated much lower by the AI system. So sometimes when the managers do not agree with the rate AI performance index of their own employees or the subordinates, they want to override the system, but they will have to answer a lot of questions for each subordinate. Why do you think the rating is inaccurate? And as a result, a lot of managers like simply ignore and just follow the rate AI system performance index because it's just too time consuming to write a 1,000 word report for each of the team member. Okay. So yeah, so that is the reason why many of the managers are actually very unhappy with the rate AI system. Okay. So say, for example, one of the managers says something like that. Hey, I got an employee who was very, very well known for doing very high quality work. Not quantity, but high quality. But he got a very low rating from the system. I tried to override the system and I got asked so many questions as if they don't trust my professional judgment. Who knows my employees' performance better than I do? You trust an AI better than I do? You think I am biased? You think I have a personal preference for my employee? Okay, I really don't like this system. Okay, so what is the role of me as a manager if you don't even trust my professional judgment? So the managers are not happy, workers are not happy either. Okay, the remote workers, for example, this remote worker says, well, yeah, I work odd hours at home. Okay, that's the reason why I choose to work remotely because like I'm not like the type of like morning person. Okay, I like working at night. But then my working hours is not being counted in the performance index. And also I don't attend a lot of like face-to-face meeting because I am an I person. I'm an introvert. Okay. So they say that I'm not a good collaborator. I got a very low score in collaboration. That is not fair. That is not fair. And they don't take into account that I've actually done a lot of like very useful work for my company. So yeah, so this is like what this example I was like using this example, although it's a hypothetical story, but it's actually based on a lot of like people's experience and feelings when the companies start to adopt like AI system in their HR decision making. And what I'm trying to say is that with these two examples, it shows that HR, human resources management, is actually both an art and also a science. Okay, it is a science because that we need to make objective evaluation of some of the HR problem rather than jumping conclusion based on our bias of like say for example like oh Gen Zs are lazy, remote work is bad, okay, rather than relying on our biases, okay, we rely on objective data. We will learn different skills in data analytics, okay, to evaluate the situation from an objective manner. We also develop solutions, all right, based on um, uh, 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 theories in the area and also the most updated, recent, robust research in the area, rather than just coming out solutions out of the blue. All right. So this is a science, and we will learn the science part of things. Okay, data analytics and so on and so forth. But at the same time, it is also an arts. Okay. We are talking about dealing with human beings. Okay. We can come up with a lot of decisions and try to persuade people, okay, AI said so, data said so. But what is the feeling of your employees? What is the personal impression, right, your HR policy would have on the employees? It's just something that we need to take into account. Their feelings, whether they feel that they are being valued or being listened to, and so they are feeling being supported by the managers, or so So HR is really a mix and a balance between art and science. So in our human resources management program, we're really going to try to mix the two together in reality. Unlike in maybe undergraduate studies, we learn a lot of theories and concepts, all right? But in real life, things are much more complex than that. And also, we are going to apply these concepts and theories and research to adapt to the latest trend in the job market. Just now we talk about remote work, Gen Z's, AI, and so on and so forth. And there will be a lot more new emerging trends that we'll be talking about in this program. Okay, so yeah, so this is my part. So hopefully it will give you a little bit more understanding of our program. And then later on we'll talk about more about the curriculum, and the details, okay? But I hope at least, okay, today's presentation will trigger your interest a little bit about our human resources management program and its relevance to the workplace. Okay, so yep, thank you very
Okay.
much.
Thank you, Professor
Thank you.
Fong.
Thank
Very
you.
interesting sharing. Now, please welcome Professor Anna Chan from the MSc in Marketing for Creative Economy program. Yeah. So Chan, please. Professor Chan, you have to unmute your mic, please.
Okay, let me check again. Yep, can
Okay,
you hear
now.
me?
Yeah, it's okay now.
All right. So good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. I'm very excited to see that we have prospective students coming from all parts of the world. So indeed, when you join a TPG program, you will actually get to work with students from different countries and different cultures. Now, specifically, let me go ahead and introduce myself. So I'm Anna Chan. I am a lecturer for the Department of Management, Marketing, and Information Systems. So my background is kind of interesting because I do not start off my career as a teacher, but rather I've been practicing marketing and public relations for more than 25 years before my teaching experience. So I was quite fortunate. I work in a top 4A advertising agency. I work in a PR consultant, and I've also served in senior management positions for several Fortune 500 companies. So as a result, I use a lot of industry case studies, real life experience to share with our students in the TPG programs, because it is important that once you join a TPG program, we will equip you with the business skills that will enable you to do well in your future career. Now, as an example, I've been teaching marketing for both undergraduate and masterclass programs. And some of the usual questions that most students will always ask me is, Anna, I've studied business management and marketing at undergraduate. So what is the new thing you're going to teach me? I know everything in 4 Ps. I know the business model framework. So what is new out there? All right, so to help you understand what we're going to do, let's just start off with a quiz. Now, of course, I want everyone to participate in this quiz, okay? All right, I'm going to give you 2 ingredients, right? Chicken leg and seasoning. So you have salt, you have pepper, you have mixed herbs. So with these 2 recipes, with these 2 ingredients, I'm going to ask you to create a dish. What kind of dish are you going to make? Can I get some responses from the group here? What is the first dish that comes to your mind? Your 2 ingredients, and you're going to make a dish. All right, fried chicken. Yep, what else? Besides fried chicken, roast, grill. Yep, that's yummy, right? All right, so basically, you can see in here, with 2 recipes, it is possible that you may have fried chicken, just like the ones in McDonald's and in KFC. Or maybe you want to get some spicy. You add some paprika. It becomes a Mexican grilled chicken. Or maybe we're serving the chicken leg in a fine dining American restaurant in a hotel. Okay? Or maybe you are enjoying your deep fried chicken leg over beer in a pub with your friends. So basically, this is just similar in marketing or in business. We give you simple ingredients, but you can produce many different outcomes with the same ingredients. Now, let us continue with the story. Assuming that with these 2 ingredients, we can come up with 4 very different recipes and 4 different products. Okay? So the question is, which is what did you learn in undergraduate? Do you think you can sell them in exactly the same price? So in a fast food restaurant, possibly like McDonald's, you may possibly buy 1 piece of chicken, maybe at $1, at most $2. But what if it is you are serving your chicken or eating your chicken in a Mexican restaurant in a hotel? Then immediately the chicken will cost you $4 or $5 a piece, right? And equally, if your pricing strategy is going to be different, so is your place. So when we talk about place, we are not just talking about the store, the atmosphere of the store, but nowadays we are even talking about, in-store experience or even delivery, right? Takeaway. Equally, we are talking about the people that is going to serve you, right? As an example, if you were enjoying your chicken in a Michigan restaurant in a hotel, you are served with fine cutlery, right? Silver knives and forks, and you have people waiting at your side. But what if it is takeaway delivery, right? Who are the people that is serving you? Possibly it's the AI. Possibly it's a robot that is serving and processing your order. Equally, the last piece is about promotion. Do you think that all these 4 restaurants will come up with exactly the same promotional strategy? Not really. You think about fast food, right? You enjoy your fast food maybe with your family, with your close friends, and you may buy a family bucket, all right, of KFC chicken, and you enjoy it, right? But if it's the fine Michelin restaurant, fine dining, then you may possibly go there for a special occasion. It could be because of your birthday party, your graduation ceremony, or maybe your wedding anniversary, all right? So the occasions by which you use these products are extremely different. But what if I add to this mix? I'm telling you this time, the fast food restaurant that you think, okay, is actually cooked not by KFC, but by a celebrity chef, right? In fact, from Gordon Ramsay from the Hell's Kitchen. Immediately, the chicken becomes more expensive. It no longer costs $1 to $2 US dollars. Immediately, the price of that chicken goes up to $5 or even $8. Why is that the case? Why is it with 2 exact same ingredients, right? We end up with very different products. And why, with a celebrity endorser, the price of the chicken actually went even higher. And that is what we are going to teach you in the TPG program, is the importance of creating brand value. The brand value is what differentiates a company with its competitors. The brand value is something, an important strategy that enables companies to endure in these unpredictable times. So let us look at the story here, okay? Same 2 simple ingredients. 1 + 1 equals what? 2? Is it 2? Or is it 3? As we probably have learned that, right, the total is greater than the sum of its parts. Or maybe, as I suggest today, 1 + 2, 1 + 1 creates infinite possibilities. Because as a company, with the same 2 basic ingredients, with the same 2 basic resources, you can produce very different products and services, and hence very different types of brand equity. Now, let us look at this way, right? As a kid, we all played with Lego bricks. Equally, in undergraduate, we teach you the building blocks to what makes up a business and what makes a business successful. Say, for example, in marketing, the building bricks will be the 4 Ps or the 5 Ps. So with these building bricks, we learn how to make houses. So you can build a house like a tree house. That looks exciting, okay? Maybe you want to build a castle by the pool. Or maybe you want to build a modern mansion with its own private swimming pool and a golf course. So these are what you learn in undergraduate, the very important foundational skills, including the concepts, frameworks, and models that enable you to build a house. And all of this looks great. They all fulfill the criteria of being a house. But in a TPG program and in a masterclass program, we take your knowledge to the next level. We ask you these 3 questions. The first question is, given that you're going to build the same house or make the same products and services, can we build it using fewer bricks? That means in business or in marketing, can we use a different type of resources or lesser investment? And when we talk about resources and investment, we are not just confining ourselves to mean monetary or financial investment. It could include people, time, the number of suppliers that you use, or the types of process and operations and systems in place to roll out a most cost-effective and impactful program. Now, equally, the second question we ask you, given the same house, how can you package it to sell it at a higher price? And of course, that is important because that will enable you to build brand equity over time. And certainly the third question, how do you get more people to know about you? Because if you build a house, you want to sell it, the important part is to advertise and promote it so that more people will want to buy your house and you get well known. So basically, that is the importance of what we can share with you today. In a masterclass program, you learn how to integrate all these basic building blocks and create powerful strategy that will elevate and increase the brand equity of a company. Now, let us use a case study. So in fact, there was a real case study. I've been teaching digital marketing for the creative economies. So this is a very interesting case study, right? The name of this company is Tourism Queensland. So this is a tourism board for Queensland in Australia, and they want to promote tourism in the Great Barrier Reef, right? Now, interestingly enough, this campaign actually generates 300 times more return of investment or publicity for this program. Now, how did they go about doing it? Basically, they only use 2 very simple advertising techniques. The first one is they created a black and white column advertising in the newspaper to hire an island caretaker. Okay, so someone to take care of the island, right? To clean the pool, feed the fish, collect the mail, and you get paid. And you get free hotel, you get free food, you get free transportation. Wow, that sounds like the best job that everyone wants to apply for. Okay. Now, the second thing that the tourism board did was they used social media advertising. So basically, with just these 2 campaigns alone, they created one of the most successful viral marketing campaign in these recent times. So what does it mean? That means in marketing, we are no longer talking about one-way, simple way of communicating. We are talking about the use of social influence. How do you engage consumers? How do you engage consumers so that they interact with each other and through which they create exponential impact? And secondly, as you can see in this example, okay, you see the importance of having an integrated, cohesive business strategy. Now, if you think back in the undergraduate program, right, we teach you specialized skills in marketing, right? Core subjects in human resources, in information systems, in supply chain. But in a TPG program, we teach you how to integrate all these disciplines to come up with an integrated business strategy. So imagine for this same advertisement to work or the same campaign to work, if human resources, hotel management is not working in collaboration with marketing, it would not have achieved the success that we are seeing today. So let me just wrap up a little bit to sum up what we are seeing now. Especially in today, we have very challenging economies. Now, in a recent survey for CMO, these are the top 3 buckets that we are hearing what the business is saying. The first one is, demonstrating the impact of investment. If you think about in the old days, or what you learned in undergraduate, right, most business functions are seen as an expense. So marketing is seen as an expense. Hiring people is seen as an expense. All right. Installing a new process and information system is seen as an expense, but not in the future. We're talking about how to turn each of these business functions, as an example, marketing, to become a strategy that can enable the company to grow and even gain market share. The second bucket that we're now seeing is talking about data intelligence. So just now, Professor Lucia has also, talked about data. And of course, when we talk about data, we are not just telling you what kind of data intelligence is there, but rather we are asking you and helping you to practice how to interpret the data. And more importantly, how do you make use of that data to make, the next better decision? And finally, cross-functional support, right? No longer are we asking each of the students to think just from one discipline or to consider things from one perspective. As an example, when I teach digital marketing, I encourage the students to think broadly about how they should work with other functions, such as supply chain, such as information systems, such as HR, to create impactful campaigns that we see and we learn today from the Tourism Board in Queensland. So let us look at this way, right? For brands to endure in unpredictable times, we need business skills and business acumen that will help us build a very solid foundation. And I can see 3 very distinct themes in here that will drive us for the future. The first theme is sustainability. Now, of course, everyone is talking about being environmentally friendly. We've been hearing this and learning this, right, in your undergraduate. So in a TPG program, we take this to the next level. We're going to talk about in marketing, the concept of societal marketing. So what does it mean? That means how do we integrate sustainability concepts in the way that we communicate and reach out to consumers so that over the long run, we are building brand loyalty and building brand image and reputation over time. The second key theme is personalization. So when we talk about personalization, that means we are using, in information technology, AI automation to build customized service and products, not only to our customers, but also to our business partners, our supply chain, and even to internal employees. How do we make sure that we are listening to what they are saying? So gone are the old days when it's a one-way communication between the company, the brand, and its employees, and also its customers, right? And of course, the last third important theme is predictability. So with more data, with intelligence in place, AI automation, we have all this important information in our fingertips to enable us to come up with better plans that will help us predict well and also to reduce, any potential risk in business. And given that, in order for any brand to endure in unpredictable times, there will be 4 major ingredients in this recipe. Innovation in product and services. The second one is creating customer experience, a seamless one, not only in person, but also online and offline. Driving, of course, corporate sustainability. So that is part of the management culture in the way that you not only treat your customers, but treat your suppliers and also your internal employees. And of course, as Lucia has just shared with us, how to create an environment that we are fostering our internal employees to deliver performance. So with these 4 major important ingredients, we're able to create a recipe for a successful, valuable brand. And with that, thank you very much for the sharing today. I hope you enjoyed your session. Thank you. Over to Seth.
Okay, thank you, Professor Chan, for your inspiring presentation. Okay, we'll now move to the program introduction section. Our program directors will provide an overview of the 5 master programs. Okay. And to start, let's welcome Professor Zhang Fang, the program director of the Master of Accountancy. Professor Zhang, please.
Hi everyone, welcome to today's information session. I'm Zhang Fang, Program Director of the Master of Accountancy. Usually we call it MACC. I often say that our MACC is a master with care. We are committed to your learning experience and professional network through dedicated teaching, career support, and strong industry ties. Today, I will highlight 3 key strengths: graduate success, professional recognition, and our forward-looking curriculum. So first, employment outcomes. The charts you see show survey data from our recent graduates. Take the 2024 cohort as example, which is in your right-hand side. The students graduated in July 2025. By December, just 6 months after graduation, 30 out of 59 respondents had already secured full-time positions. Over 80% of them are working right here in Hong Kong, with majorities placed in CPA firms. And our alumni now work across a wide range of sectors, from CPA firms and banks to corporations, universities, and even government agencies. So this graduate success is backed by top-tier professional recognition. We offer maximum exam exemptions from bodies like Hong Kong ICPA and ACCA. For example, ACCA's 13 exams are reduced to just 4 for our graduates. Even more powerful is our dual qualification pathway. Completing our 1-year MACC grants full exemption from the 10 HK ICPA exam modules. Through Mainland Hong Kong Mutual Recognition Agreement, you are also exempt from 4 Chinese CPA exams. So this means you only need to pass 3 additional exams to earn Chinese CPA qualification. So that is wonderful, right? And now let's turn to the curriculum, which is structured into 3 parts: pre-core, core, and electives. The pre-core courses build a solid foundation for students without prior business or accounting training. Our 7 core courses are professionally accredited, meeting highest industry standards. As for the electives, we offer a wide range, from CPA-focused subjects like advanced financial reporting, advanced taxation, to cutting-edge courses in AI and data analytics. We also provide ESG-focused modules for those interested in sustainability. Among this, our accounting internship is a flagship course. Over half of our students participate annually, most at CPA firms. So currently, for example, we have 9 work at EY, 1 at Deloitte, 26 at second tier, and around 10 at major local firms. Many secure written offers, significantly enhancing their graduate employability. I also invite you to follow our HKBU MACC on Xiaohongshu. There we regularly post the internship statistics, curriculum news, and highlights from students' activities to keep you connected. Finally, I want to highlight our comprehensive scholarship system built to attract and reward talents at every stage. We offer admission awards like entrance and ACCA scholarships. During the program, top performers in each course receive cash awards, and 3 highest achievers earn the Outstanding Performance Scholarship. We also provide generous sponsorship for students joining our summer overseas exchange programs. In short, the HKBU MACC is more than a degree. It's your career launchpad. Thank you for your attention. Should you have any questions, please feel free to contact our program office. We look forward to welcoming you soon.
Thank you, Professor Zhang. Moving on, please join me in welcoming Professor Janet Kwan, Program Director of the MSc in Applied Accounting and Finance.
Okay. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. So I'm Janet. So I'm actually the program director for MSc AF program. So it's Applied Accounting and Finance. I guess this program is quite different from other programs because we are kind of hybrid program. We cover both accounting and finance aspect. So let me start with a very quick introduction first. So we target on business students. So we welcome everybody, no matter you are from accounting background or non-accounting or finance or non-accounting, non-finance background. So all the business students will be welcome to join our program. So also, can I move on? Okay. So let me start with a very brief introduction of our program first. So this is the program structure. So I guess everyone, if you go on the website, you will see the program structure. So basically, our program will have 8 core courses. So you will see that there were 4 accounting-related courses. At the same time, we also offer 4 finance-related courses as well. So at the same time, we offer some elective courses to our students. So you see on the list, we have on the list 10 different elective courses. So you have to choose at least two of them to graduate. At the same time, we offer one non-unit bearing course we call AF Seamless. So in case anyone want to know more about that, so feel free to send me a message or send me email. I can give you more information on this. So next, our program, this is actually our tuition fee. So we charge a little bit higher for non-local students. So that would be $310,000, okay, for 1 year. And you have to pay the tuition fee in 3 installments. For local student, will be a little bit cheaper. That would be like $220. So also, but don't worry too much about tuition fee at the moment, because we actually offer quite a lot of scholarship and award to our students. Like you see, the first one is actually quite attractive. We call entrance scholarship. So if you're a really brilliant student, so we actually will be able to offer you like $80,000 when you join our program. At the same time, we have some smaller one like the Young Talent Scholarship, as well as the Local Entrance Scholarship. For the Local Entrance Scholarship, this is especially tailored for the local student. At the same time, we also would like to encourage our students to have some extracurricular activity as well. So that's why we will offer some summer program sponsorship. So in case you want to join the summer program, which I'm going to explain later, we offer like up to $16,000, okay, depend on the location. Also, we encourage you to do hard work. So that's why we also have Excellent Academic Performance Award, which offer to our top student. We just introduced a very interesting award this year. We call eLearner Award. So that will be for those who like to do some LinkedIn learning. Okay, that's an easy task. So we offer a very small like token for those students who have finished their LinkedIn learning. All right. So of course, the very important question is you want to ask why you want to join our program. Of course, I think I mentioned earlier, we have a lot of activities offered to the student. Like we encourage you to do the top TPG summer program, because you remember we have a sponsorship for that one as well. And then we offer opportunity for double degree program. So you can join some university in France spring. And if you study 1 year more, you actually can earn 2 degrees. So this kind of very attractive. Okay, so also we have internship opportunities, and you can do it full-time or part-time, because now we have no restriction on what type of internship you can take. So this will be, but of course for part-time you cannot take more than 20 hours every week. So I think all of you might be familiar with IANG. Actually, this is a visa arrangement for those local students. After graduation, actually you can work in Hong Kong for like 2 more years, because you are actually eligible for applying the immigration arrangement for local graduates. So according to my understanding, half of my students actually stay in Hong Kong to work further. And of course, after that, they might want to go back to home country. Okay, that one could be flexible. Okay, I think for the last program director, she already explained a lot about the professional recognition. We also have 4 accounting related recognition as well. So we have similar recognition like the ACCA one, the HKICPA one, and the CIMA and the AIA. Okay, so also after your graduation, you will be able to obtain the maximum exemption on this qualification as well. All right. I also want to mention about the career opportunities as well, because don't forget we are a hybrid program. So you have for people, especially with diverse interests, they might want to take our program because that will offer you a lot of different job opportunities. So you can see from the pie chart from here. I think more or less like half of the people, they work in a accounting field, like professional firm. And also we have half people working in the investment field as well, especially I think private equity is on the rise. So actually a lot of our students, they will join the private equity firm in Hong Kong. All right, so just a little bit about the admission requirement first. Okay, what are the requirements you have to meet before you can actually apply for a program? So I think I mentioned a little bit earlier, you need to be a business student. Of course, if you're a non-business student, we can consider that one, your application on a case-by-case basis. Or if you are professionally qualified, of course, you can apply. And we do have an English proficiency requirement. I think that's the same with other programs as well. So I think for IELTS, you have to at least 6.5, or if you want to, you can take the TOEFL or other English proficiency test. A little bit different from our other program. So we need students to attend admission interview, all right, because we want to see you on the, no matter, I don't think it's a face-to-face, it's a kind of online interview. We would like to see you and check whether you are qualified for those scholarship I just mentioned. And in case you have a GMAT score or you do have some relevant working experience before, that will be on the top priority. Okay, so that is the link you can use to apply because we accept all application online. But of course, for today's people who attended this section, you don't have to pay the $450. And I just like to remind everyone about deadline for application. We actually finished the first round. Will be ending on end of February. So please apply early because once the quota is filled up, we'll stop our application. Last thing is, can everyone scan the QR code? Okay, because I believe that some of you might need further information and you might have some questions to ask. So please take a picture and feel free to call us or send us email, and then we will reply to your question as soon as we can. Okay, so that's all for my introduction.
Okay,
Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Kwan. Next, we'll have Professor David Wu for the program director of the MSc in Corporate Governance and Compliance. Professor Wu, please.
Okay. Well, I'm sorry that many of you have to hear me speak once again. Well, because of my voice situation, I think I need to cut short my introduction. Well, my program is a Master of Governance in Master of Science in Corporate Governance and Compliance. Well, most people, they mix up corporate governance and compliance. Well, shall we think about this hypothetical scenario? If someone is going to attend an MBA interview, and if the people at the interview panel ask him or her, what do you want to do after your MBA program? Most people will say, I want to be a CEO. But I don't think many people will say, I want to be a director of a company. But in fact, in the real world, even people like Elon Musk, like Tim Cook, they have to answer to their board of directors. So directors are the decision makers of the company. I mean, the ultimate decision makers in the company. And this is what corporate governance is about. Corporate governance is what directors would do for the company. And directors, they are called directors because they direct the company. So this program is to prepare people to be directors, to be working in the ecosystem around the boardroom. So that's why usually I would tell people that corporate governance program, you can see that as another version of MBA program. Because in the real world, CEO and directors, they have to work hand in hand. So what are you going to study? Well, in this program, you have to study 8 core courses with 2 elective courses. Well, those 8 courses are about accounting, about finance, about law, and about communication. And so that's why if you just take a brief look, it really looks like an MBA program. But you have to take elective as well. Well, which electives we will offer? These are the 8 core courses. You see corporate law, securities regulation, and also I think more qualitative courses like strategic management. And the people will say this is a very law-based program. And in fact, it is. It's because directors are positions created by company law. So no wonder the nature of this program is quite law-based. So if you like law, I think you may consider this corporate governance program. And how about electives? Well, electives again, many of them they are about laws. For example, the one new elective we will offer this summer is a personal and corporate insolvency law. And according to a survey in my class, well, this is a very, very popular elective, and the people they would consider to take. And but we also offer electives from very different perspectives, like what? Like corporate communication, like taxation, and also fintech as well. So we try to offer a variety of electives of different natures to our students. And this is the this is the sample schedule for studying. Our full-time students, I venture to think that most of the people on this breakout room, they have an eye on the full-time program, and in the full-time mode, you are going to study 4 courses in one trimester, 4 courses. So that's why if you want to ask me, is it a plus? Is it a plus to get some internship opportunities during the term time? Well, my answer is no, because I think my teaching team and we are able to make you very busy, very, very busy. So that's why I won't stop you from seeking internship opportunities. But as a program director, I do think that this program will be able to make you very busy. And our classes generally will be held in a weekday evening. We don't have a weekday morning or weekday afternoon classes because this is a hybrid program. Almost 80% of the students, they are part-time working executives in Hong Kong, and around 20% are full-time students. And since most of the students, they have to work during daytime, so that our courses can only be scheduled for a weekday evening or maybe one on a weekday afternoon. So this is how our pedagogical approach. Every week you will have lectures, and the lecturers, they would invite guest lecturers depending on the nature of the topics. And the case studies is perhaps a very important element in our assessment scheme, because just like other postgraduate programs in our business school, strategy is the very, very important I would say tool for business executives. And in order to test your competent strategy, well, case study is the best assessment tool. So you are expected to form groups and to do a lot of case studies. And after finishing your case study work, you are supposed to give presentations. So that's why a few minutes ago I said my team will be able to make you very busy. And by the way, the examination component will account for 50%. For other postgraduate programs, examination will only have a 40%. I mean, the relative weight is only 40%. But this one is different. These are different. In my program, all courses, each course, its examination component will account for 50% of the total marks. And why that is the case is because it is required by our professional bodies. Well, which professional bodies? Well, may I take a big jump? the most relevant professional bodies for this program is the HKCGI, Hong Kong Corporate Governance, Hong Kong Chartered Governance Institute, and also the United Kingdom Chartered Governance Institute. If you graduate from a program, and if you have also earned 3 years of relevant working experience, you will become their members. And as a member of HKCGI, you are qualified to be appointed as company secretaries of listed companies in Hong Kong. Company secretaries of listed companies is just like board secretaries to the listed companies in the Chinese mainland. So, ladies and gentlemen, you are seeing a very prestigious qualification here. In Hong Kong, if you have got a Harvard MBA, if you have got a PhD in finance from MIT, you are not qualified to be appointed as ComSec of listed companies in Hong Kong. Only lawyers, only CPAs, and only members of HKCGI can be so appointed. So that's why I would say side by side with CPA, side by side with lawyers, I think this HKCGI qualifications is among the three most sought after professional qualifications in Hong Kong. Well, ladies and gentlemen, to graduate, of course, you have to finish all the 10 courses. And here, I must give you an inconvenient truth. To pass this program, your GPA, by the time of graduation, your GPA must be at least 2.5. I won't hide from you. Every year, we have students risking, the chance of risking non-completion of the program. So don't think that you can walk over this program, because you may be thinking, well, I've done the BBA in my undergraduate program. And but just a brief glance, many courses you have in your program, well, I've studied them in my BBA program. But I can assure you that the level of difficulty is much, much higher. Okay. So when you join us, you have to what? You have to devote all your time and your attention to us. So that's this is the same point I repeat the third time. I won't stop you from getting an internship program, but I don't really suggest. And we offer, we're just like other postgraduate programs, we offer a lot of scholarship programs. And because of time, I would mention this one to you, specifically this one to you. The Hong Kong Future Talents Scholarship Scheme for Advanced Studies. Well, this is offered by the Hong Kong government, for some specifically chosen program in Hong Kong, and this is I would say that this is a very, very prestigious entry that you can put on your CV. But of course, the first thing is before you get this scholarship, the first thing you have to do is join us first. Well, because Sandy has remind all program directors that we only have 4 minutes. So I think I have to stop here. And of course, I welcome questions from you later on. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Next, we will welcome the Master of Human Resources Management, Professor Emily Huang, please.
Okay, thank you, Sandy. Yeah, I just saw a message reminding all of us to return to the main session. So I was concerned about,
Yes.
So it's okay. All right. Yeah, I guess I need less than 4 minutes. All right. Good afternoon. Good morning. Good evening, friends and guests. I'm the program director of the Master of Resources Management. Sandy, are you sharing the slide, or am I going to share it myself?
I'm sharing. Yeah.
But I don't see the slide move to the MHRM yet. Oh, hi, Sandy.
Yes, I think it's sharing. I'm sharing the.
No, this is the
slides.
previous thank you slide. Can you move to the next slide?
Yes, I've already moved to the next slides.
All right, then probably problem is on my side. All right, so this program is designed to develop people who are interested in developing a career in people management. So whether you are a aspiring HR professional practicing HR currently, but without a formal education or training in HR, or you studied HR, but you wanted to develop your knowledge and skill to a higher level, this program will help you. All right. So first, let me talk about the credentials that we have to offer our students. So in addition to the triple accreditation that the chairman has mentioned earlier, we are a approved CIPD center, one of the largest and most impactful HR professional association in the world. And we also have partnership with regional HR professional bodies such as Hong Kong Institute of HRIM and Hong Kong People Management Association, as well as Shenzhen Human Resources Association, which benefit our students for career growth in the GBA Great Bay Area, one of the world's most dynamic economic hubs. Our curriculum is built for impact with 7 core courses. Yeah, the slide is locked. Yeah, I thought that was
I think
that was a problem on my side, but the audience.
well, I think David, if you stop your screen, then we can see Sandy's screen. There's 2 tabs
Probably
on the top. Yeah.
So now, could you see my screen? All right.
We can see the screen. Yeah, it's okay now.
Okay, thank you. Yeah. Oh, I think my screen was covered by who's sharing. So I'm not looking at my own screen share. Sorry about the trouble. So let me share again.
No, let me share it.
All right. Yeah.
Second
All right.
row?
This slide about our curriculum. With 7 core courses covering all major HR functions, including how do we get people, talent acquisition, how do we develop people, learning and development, and how do we engage and reward people, performance management, rewards management, and others. All these are fundamental HR functions that equip you to thrive in the HR professional area. And you also have a choice to choose 3 electives. All these electives are designed to develop people in different directions in the HR area, such as the employment relations and employment law, and HR technology, as well as people analytics. Yeah, so all these lessons actually connect theories with practice. All right, yeah. Most important, I would like to introduce our teaching team, which you will see that you can learn from the best. All right, we have a very nice combination in this teaching team. We have very experienced scholars in the HR field, like our department head, Professor Chang Song, and we also have very famous visiting professors, such as Dr. Robert Amos, and who is actually a HR director in Hong Kong Stock Exchange, and Dr. Ben, who owns his own consulting firm in people management. Yeah, so this teaching team will help you to connect theories with practices and also to combine the global insight with regional practices. All right, scholarships and awards to recognize your achievements and to ease also financial burdens for some of you. We offer quite a few scholarships and awards, including the graduation academic awards to the highest GPA students and to the HKBU alumni entrance alumni. Yeah, we have alumni entrance awards and as well as the international scholarship offered to outstanding international applicants. And we also have a recent scholarship offered to applicants who work in social enterprises and roles that are related to sustainability. Yeah. All right, so if you're ready to make a difference in the world of people management, please seize the opportunity. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to contact us. Yeah.
Okay, thank you,
Thank you very
Professor
much.
Huang. Thank you. Lastly, Professor Zhang will present the MSc in Marketing for the Creative Economy. Professor
Thank you.
Zhang.
Okay, thank you. Finally, MCE program. Yeah.
Sorry
Okay,
about that.
I'll keep it very brief. Okay. Well, good afternoon and well, hello to everybody. It's my great honor to be here to introduce our program. MCE program is a collaborative program between the marketing discipline and the Academy of Visual Art. Please go to the next slide. Okay, I think you skipped one. Okay, anyway, well, first of all, I would like to briefly introduce what we do and what we want to achieve through this program. Okay, next, please. Yeah, basically our program aims to provide a platform for students to develop into art-time marketing talents who can integrate artistic sense with marketing skills and knowledge. Well, basically, we focus on 2 dimensions in marketing. Next, please. Yeah. Well, sorry. Can you go back? Okay. Yeah, here. Yeah. One dimension is creative marketing, which can be applied to different industries. Another dimension is marketing in creative industry. Okay. Why this then? If you look around in your daily lives, actually you can see places like those in my PowerPoint. Okay, so no matter they are commercial organizations or arts and cultural organizations, all of them need creativity and marketing. But when you look at the industry, actually talents with both knowledge are in shortage. So that's why we have this program. Okay, can you go to the next page? Yeah, thank you. Then how can we achieve this? Well, here I would just want to briefly highlight our program features. Next, please. Okay, first, well, in nature, our program is a very unique interdisciplinary program. Because we collaborate with Academy of Visual Arts. So from our program, you can take courses from marketing, visual arts, entrepreneurship, and more. And in particular, we have 4 very unique flashy courses, like seminar course, creative service learning project, and 1 generative AI for ideation, and the future course. Okay, and these flashy courses provide opportunities for students to learn through experience and practices. Next, please. Okay, well, the second feature is that we provide a lot of opportunities for students to engage with industry experts through the flashy courses, through company visit, guest talk, and we also have the mentor-mentee program. So students can learn practical skills and knowledge, and they also have a lot of networking opportunities. Next, please. The third feature is that we also write on the recent development of AI tools. So from this year, we actually have a course which helps students to learn how to use different AI tools for design thinking. Here in my PowerPoint, actually, you can see 2 pieces of student work from the workshop. So they are awesome. Next, please. And the last but not least program features that we also provide international immersive experience to our students so that they can get exposure to the creative economies overseas. So from the from the pictures, you can see that. Well, last year we went to Singapore, and this year we will take students to Korea. Next, please. Okay. Due to time limit, I cannot get into details. But in briefly speaking, if you're in love with creativity and you want to have a practical business course, MC is for you. And feel free to reach our program office or visit our website for details in those specific courses. Okay, so I will stop here.
Thank you, Professor Zhang. Thank you. Okay. This concludes our breakout room section. Sorry for the delay. You may now return to the main section to hear more about admission, scholarships, and student life. Thank you.